there's no person signed in, that I'm not sure.
Good evening.
Hello.
Hey, this is Nick.
Okay, thank you. Let the record show at 6 o'clock, we'll call our meeting to order. Heather, will you give the roll call?
Sure. Eddie Gokenhauer,
Here.
Linda Barnhart,
Present?
Eric Goff,
Here.
McKenna Norton,
Here.
Tim Lewis,
Present.
Dan Gant, Nick Deal,
Here.
Derek.
here.
I can hear you, Nick. Derek Smith.
Present.
Okay, with the quorum present, first item on the agenda would be our approval of the agenda. But first of all, I'd like to welcome Mr. Gokenauer to the Planning Commission. He is now the County Council's representative to the Planning Commission. He's very familiar with Berkeley County's growth, and I'm sure he will be an asset to this commission's decisions and recommendations for the future development. Thank you.
Welcome, Eddie.
Thank you.
Okay, I need an approval of the minutes, recommendation approval of the
Move to
minutes.
approve.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Goff, second by Ms. Norton to approve the minutes. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Next item on the agenda is sunshine law speakers. If anyone signed in for that, this is your opportunity to make your comments.
If no one.
Let the record show that there is no one to speak. Next we have, I'm sorry, I misspoke. We approved the meeting minutes earlier than we should have. We approved the agenda first. Can I take a motion by Mr. Goff and Ms. Norton to approve the minutes?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, thank you very much. All those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Opposed? Okay, we will begin our public hearings. We have 7 public hearings this evening. The first one is for Cold Spring Run.
Yes, that is a request for waiver. The project is Cold Spring Run.
Hold on, Monique, hold on.
We had to turn you up a little bit. Let's try again.
Okay. The project is a request for waiver, Cold Spring Run, file 2012-369, tied to 2011-351 and 017-15. The developer is Cold Spring Run LLC. The engineer is D.A. Stansberry Engineering. It is the Arden District, map 10, parcels 57, 57.2, and 57.3. This project is located on Kelly Island Road, West Virginia, Route 9/13, approximately 2,000 feet north of Paynes Ford Road, West Virginia, Route 19. The developer is proposing an increase from 89 residential lots to 99 residential lots. It is currently served by public water and sewer. The developer is requesting a waiver to Article 5, Table 5-3A of the Berkeley County Subdivision Ordinance, requiring duplex lots to be a minimum of 85 feet wide and a minimum of 9,000 square feet. The engineering supports the waiver with no additional comments, and planning staff recommends approval of the waiver to Article 5, Table 5-3A of the Berkeley County Subdivision Ordinance, requiring duplex lots to be a minimum of 85 feet wide and minimum of 9,000 square feet.
Thank you. Do we have anyone to represent the project? Hello.
I'm back.
You're back. This is a public hearing. If you have questions or comments, please come forward, state your name, your address, and any questions you might have regarding the project.
Move public hearing be closed. Second.
Let the record show that there's no public comment. I have a motion by Mr. Goff to close public hearing, and who was my second on that?
Derek Smith.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Stansberry or of the staff?
Mr. Stansberry, I do. Does that affect your side setback rules now that you currently have?
No, the setbacks for that, it's more of a standard townhouse size lot versus what is being asked for. Clearly, the ordinance was intended to be for commercial, 2 dwelling on 1 lot. That's why it was 85. The 85-foot for 2 lots would be almost 3 times what a regular house lot.
Right.
So, this is one of those items left over from 12 years ago that was not correct at that time.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions by the Planning Commission members?
This is Tim Lewis. Just for my own knowledge, what will the minimum width be and maximum square feet be? Or minimum square feet, I mean. It's asking for a waiver from 85 and 9,000. What will it be?
What's the new dimensions?
The lots are going to be in the neighborhood of 3,000 square feet, which is larger than the standard townhouse.
And the width?
The width's going to be a minimum of 30 feet. That would be a total of 60 for both units.
Thank you.
Might add, by doing this, we've actually increased the amount of open common space because the previous duplex single pair actually took up more ground than the 4 are taking up at present.
Planning Commission members, do you have additional questions?
If there are no further questions, I'll make a recommendation or make a motion to accept staff recommendations for waiver to Article 5, Table 5-3A, requiring duplex lots to be a minimum of 85 feet wide and a minimum of 9,000 square feet.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Goff to accept staff recommendation and to grant the waiver for Article 5, Table 5-3A regarding the width and the square footage of the duplex lots, or of the townhouse lot?
They're officially duplex.
Called duplex, okay. How tall are they? How many?
2 stories.
2 stories, okay. Okay, motion by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Goff. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next item on the agenda is public hearing, Cardinal Point, Section 1, Phase 4.
Yes, request for final plat approval, project Cardinal Point, Section 1, Phase 4, lots 358 through 371, and 36 through 400. The file number is 2011-338, tied to 048-18. The developer is Panhandle Homes. The engineer is Fox and Associates. It's in the Falling Waters District, map 9, parcel 11.6. The property is located along the north side of Hammond Mill Road, west of St. Andrews Drive. This phase proposes 26 single-family villa-style lots on approximately 15.2 acres to be served by public water and sewer. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $401,400. Plat to be released upon receipt of surety.
Do we have anyone to represent Cardinal Point?
Good evening, Steve Sianovich, Fox and Associates, representing Panhandle Homes in Berkeley County.
Thank you. Again, this is a public hearing. If you have questions or comments regarding this project, please come forward, state your name, your address, and your comments. Let the record show that there are no comments.
Move public hearing be closed. Second, Derek Smith.
Motion by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Smith to close public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Sianovich or of the staff?
If there are no questions, I make a motion we accept staff recommendations for the final plat meeting the requirements of the subdivision ordinance. Final plat to be contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $401,400 and to be released on receipt of surety.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Smith to accept staff recommendation and to grant final plat approval and surety in the amount of $401,400. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you.
Yes. Next item on the agenda is Cardinal Point, Section 1, Phase 5.
Yes, this is a request for final plat approval. The project is Cardinal Point, Section 1, Phase 5, lots 10 through 42, 65 through 70, 95 through 97, 166 through 177, 182 through 185, 272, and 304 through 308. The file number is 2011-352, tied to 048-18. The developer, again, is Panhandle Homes. The engineer is Fox and Associates. Falling Waters District, map 9, parcel 11.6. The property is located along the north side of Hammonds Mill Road, west of St. Andrews Drive. This phase proposes 65 single-family lots on approximately 22.2 acres to be served by public water and sewer. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance. Therefore, staff recommends final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $1,003,650. The plat is to be released upon receipt of surety.
Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Steve Sianovich with Fox and Associates, representing the developer Panhandle Homes in Berkeley County.
Thank you. Again, this is public hearing. It's your opportunity. Please come forward, state your name, your address, and any comments you might have regarding the project. Let the record show that there's no ones to speak regarding the project.
Move public hearing be closed.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Goff, and I'm not sure who seconded.
That was me. Next.
Second by Mr. Deal. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Sianovich or of the staff?
If there are no questions, I make a motion that we accept staff recommendations for the final plat meeting the requirements of the subdivision ordinance. Approval contingent is upon receipt of surety in the amount of $1,003,650. The plat to be released upon receipt of the surety.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Goff to accept staff recommendation and to approve the final plat contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $1,003,650. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you.
Next item for public hearing is Morning Dove 2, Phase 4.
This is a request for final plat approval. The project is Morning Dove 2, Phase 4, lots 158 through 171, 202 through 206, 220 through 230, and open space E and F. File number 2009-242, tied to 44-16. The developer is DR Acquisitions, LLC. The engineer is Gordon. It's in the Mill Creek District, map 14, parcel 88. The project is located south of Giles Mill Road and Gray Drive, intersection 1.5 miles east of the Giles Mill Road and Route 11 intersection. The final plat proposes the development of 30 single-family lots on 27.9 acres to be served by public water and sewer. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance. Therefore, staff recommends final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $748,260. Plat to be released upon receipt of surety.
Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Matt Stair with Dan Ryan Builders, representing DRA.
Thank you. This is a public hearing. If you have questions or comments, please come forward, state your name, address, and any comments you might have regarding the project.
Move public hearing be closed.
Let the record show that there's no public comments. I have a motion by Mr. Goff to close public hearing,
Second, Derek Smith.
second by Mr. Smith. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Stair or of the staff?
There are no questions. Let's make a motion. We accept staff recommendations for final plat meeting the requirements of subdivision ordinance. Final plat approval contingent upon maturity in the amount of $748,260 and plat to be released upon receipt of said surety.
Second.
I have a motion by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Goff to accept staff recommendation and to approve the final plat contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $748,260. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Thank you. Next item for public hearing is Stony Ridge Section 2, Phase 2F.
This is a request for final plat approval. The project is Stony Ridge Section 2, Phase 2F, lots 116 through 120 and lots 134 through 138. The file number is 2011-323. The developer is Stony Ridge LLC. The surveyor is Robert Land Surveying. It is in the Mill Creek District, map 5, parcel 44. This project is located a half a mile west of intersection of West Virginia Route 51 and Interstate 81. The project proposes the creation of 10 residential lots to be served by public water and sewer. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance. Therefore, staff recommends final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $103,082.40. Plat to be released upon receipt of surety and signed developer's agreement.
Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Yes, Mike Roberts, representing project.
Thank you. Again, this is public hearing. If you have questions or comments regarding the project, please come forward, state your name, address, and any questions you might have.
We do have some individuals that came into the building this evening to hear about Stony Ridge. I'm not sure if they wish to speak. Yeah.
I get a no on that? Okay. Let the record show that there is no comments from the public.
Make a motion, public hearing be closed.
Have a motion by Mr. Gokenhour to close public hearing,
Second.
second by Mr. Who did
That was
I?
me, Eric. Goff.
Mr. Goff? Who?
Yes.
Eric.
Mr. Goff? Okay. Motion by Mr. Gokenhour, second by Mr. Goff to close public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Roberts or of the staff?
There are no questions. I'll make a motion. We accept staff recommendations. The final plat meeting the requirements of the subdivision ordinance. Final plat approval is contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $103,082.40. Plats agreement upon receipt of surety and signed developers agreement.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Goff to accept staff recommendation to grant final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $103,082.40. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Thank you.
Thank you.
Next public hearing is Butler's Ridge Bridge, Phase 3.
Yes, this is a request for final plat approval. The project is Butler's Bridge Phase 3, lots 86 and lots 90 through 95. The file number is 2011-323. The developer is Butler's Bridge Land LLC. The engineer is Gordon. It's in the Hedgesville District, map 37, parcel 27. This project is located from intersection of Dry Run Road and Ridge Road South, north, 0.13 miles on Ridge Road to Skipper's Canyon Drive. The project proposes the creation of 7 residential lots to be served by public water and sewer. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends final plat approval contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $138,659. Plat is to be released upon receipt of surety and signed developer's agreement.
Do I have anyone to represent the project?
Yes, Clark Botner with Butler's Bridge LLC.
Questions or comments from the public regarding this project? Please come forward.
Move public hearing be closed.
Let the record show that there is no comments. A motion by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Smith to close public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Public hearing is now closed. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Botner or the staff?
There are no questions. I'll make a motion. We accept staff recommendations with the final plat meeting the requirements of the subdivision ordinance. Final plat contingent upon receipt of surety in the amount of $138,659 to be released upon receipt of surety and a signed developer's agreement.
Second.
I'm sorry, who was my second?
I think it was Eric. Eric Goff.
Well, I second it also, but you might have.
Go ahead, give it to Nick. Give it to Nick.
Okay, motion by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Deal to accept staff recommendation to approve the final plat contingent upon repeated surety, $138,659. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Our final public hearing tonight is Southbrook.
Yes, this is a request for sketch plan advancement. The project is Southbrook. The file is 2012-364. The developer is Chandler's Glen LLC. The engineer is Gordon. It's located in the Mill Creek District, map 3, parcel 9. The property is located along Hatchery Road, West Virginia, County Route 11/8, and Shiley Road, West Virginia, County Route 34/2, approximately a half a mile east of Winchester Avenue, US Route 11. This project proposes 750 residential lots consisting of 460 single-family detached and 290 single-family attached on approximately 286 acres to be served by public water and sewer. No waivers or exceptions have been requested. On December 21st, 2020, the county engineer, Doug Smith, stated that a review of the above-mentioned project was completed and found to be in compliance with the Berkeley County subdivision ordinance. The sketch plan meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance. Therefore, staff recommends advancement of the sketch plan to the preliminary plan stage.
Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Jason Gerhart with Gordon.
Thank you. This is a public hearing for Southbrook. If you have questions or comments, please come forward and make those known at this time.
Okay, so we had some individuals that came in to listen, but they're indicating they don't wish to speak.
No one wishes to speak?
Then I'll move,
No one wishes to speak?
so I'll move to close public hearing then. Second, Derek Smith.
Motion by Mr. Goff, second by Mr. Smith to close public hearing. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Gerhart?
Only question I have, sir, is the traffic study asterisk, has that been done?
So the traffic study has been prepared and it was just recently submitted to the Department of Highways. We had some introductory calls with them at the end of 2020. So that'll be processed here through spring, looking at a half dozen intersections all throughout that.
Okay.
And our intention is for the property to be subdivided for preliminary plat. Right now, we're intending to do it in 3 phases of roughly 200 to 250 lots each, starting at the eastern side, working west. So we'll be taking it in chunks here as we submit our moving forward, but we wanted to submit the sketch plan showing the full build-up so everybody had a clear picture of what we're intending.
Thank you.
Any further questions by the Planning Commission?
It's landed.
Dinner time. Planning Commission members, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I need a motion.
If there are no further questions, I make a motion to accept staff recommendation and advance the sketch plan to the preliminary plan stage.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Smith, second by Mr. Goff to accept staff recommendation and to advance the project to the preliminary plan stage. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you.
Good luck on that. All right, that concludes our public hearing for tonight. The next item on the agenda is final plat determination, Morning Dove 2, Phase 5.
Request for final plat determination, Morning Dove 2, Phase 5, lots 129 through 157, 231 through 249, and open space D. The file number is 2012-363, tied to 44-16. The developer is DR Acquisitions LLC. The engineer is Gordon. It's in the Mill Creek District, map 14, parcel 88. The project is located 1.4 miles east from intersection of Giles Mill Road and Winchester Avenue. The final plat proposes the development of 30 single-family lots on 25 acres to be served by public water and sewer. No waivers or exceptions have been requested for this phase. On January 12, 2021, the county engineer, Doug Smith, issued a letter of completion and found the project to be in compliance with the Berkeley County subdivision ordinance. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends final plat determination and advertising of a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the February 16, 2021 Planning Commission meeting.
Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Matt Stair with Dan Ryan Builders, representing DR Acquisitions.
Thank you. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Stair or the staff?
If there are no questions, I make the motion, we accept staff recommendations for final plat determination and advertising of a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the January 16th, 2021 Planning Commission meeting.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Goff, to accept staff recommendation and to hold a public hearing on February 16th to determine final plat approval. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Thank you. The next item is Macaulay Crossing, Section 4.
Yes, this is a request for final plat determination. Macaulay Crossing Townhome, Section 4, lots 85 through 143. The file number is 2011-302, tied to 2008-201 and 42-05. The developer is Dan Ryan Builders Incorporated. The engineer is Fox and Associates. It's located in the Mill Creek District, map 14, parcel 106. The property is located on the south side of Giles Mill Road, West Virginia, Route 26, approximately 1,000 feet east of the intersection of Giles Mill Road and Route 11. The developer is proposing 59 townhome lots on 8.4 acres to be served by public water and sewer. On June 16, 2018, the Planning Commission granted a waiver to Section 801.1 of the 2009 subdivision ordinance requiring 3 parking spaces for each dwelling unit with a minimum of 1 parking space per dwelling unit provided off-site. Also, at the June 16, 2018 Planning Commission meeting, a waiver to Section 502.1 of the 2009 subdivision ordinance requiring 2 points of access onto a public road or West Virginia Department of Highways right-of-way for residential developments proposing 100 lots or greater was granted. At the September 16, 2019 Planning Commission meeting, a waiver to Section 305.3E.1 of the Berkeley County Subdivision Ordinance in order to allow the applicant to submit an administrative plan change for proposed changes was also granted. On January 11, 2021, the county engineer issued a letter of approval stating that a review of the above-mentioned project was completed and found to be in compliance with the Berkeley County Subdivision Ordinance. The final plat meets the requirements of the subdivision ordinance, therefore staff recommends final plat determination and advertising of a public hearing for consideration of final plat approval at the February 16, 2021 Planning Commission meeting.
Do we have anyone to represent the project?
Matt Stair with Dan Ryan Builders.
Thank you. Planning Commission members, do you have questions of Mr. Stair or of the staff?
If there are no questions, I'll make a motion that we accept staff recommendations for final plat determination and advertising of a public hearing for consideration for the final plat approval at the February 16th, 2021 Planning Commission meeting.
Second, Derek Smith.
Thank you. I have a motion by Mr. Lewis, second by Mr. Smith to accept staff recommendation, and that is to hold a public hearing on February 16th to give final plat determination. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion passed. Thank you. Next item on the agenda is Meadows at Riverside.
This is a request for consideration. The project is Meadows at Riverside. The file number is 2012-367, tied to 2010-284 and 3-07. The developer is Meadows at Riverside LLC. The engineer is Frederick Siebert and Associates. It's located in the Falling Waters District, map 7 and 11, parcels 169 and 4. This property is located on the southwest side of Broad Lane and north side of Shell Pit Drive. The project proposes 261 single-family detached lots on approximately 73 acres to be served by public water and sewer. There have been no variances or waivers for this project. At the August 6, 2018 Planning Commission meeting, the developer was granted a 9-month extension to February 28, 2019 in order to allow time for a major plan change to be submitted that is compliant with the 2016 Stormwater Ordinance and the 2009 Subdivision Ordinance, including updated permits approvals from all outside agencies. At the March 18, 2019 Planning Commission meeting, the developer was granted a 12-month extension with an expiration date of March 18, 2020. At the March 2nd, 2020 Planning Commission meeting, the developer was granted a 9-month extension contingent on the submission of an updated environmental impact checklist, Appendix C, and school impact analysis. The updated environmental impact checklist, Appendix C, and school impact analysis have not been submitted. The vested plans for Meadows at Riverside expired on December 18, 2020. The developer is now requesting a 12-month extension from December 18, 2020 to allow time for the major plan change to be approved. The major plan change was initially submitted on October 19, 2020 and has undergone 2 staff reviews. Engineering staff concurs with planning staff's recommendation. Planning staff recommends approval of the 12-month extension contingent upon the submission of an updated environmental impact checklist, Appendix C, and school impact analysis.
Do we have anyone to represent the project?
We have Ed Schreiber online. Ed, can you hear us?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay.
Planning Commission, do you have questions of Mr. Seibert, Mr. Schreiber, or of the staff?
I have a question basically for staff. Is it custom to continue to extend these projects this long?
It wouldn't typically be extended for the amount of time that was given in total, but because the initial extension was given and then the developer has invested in the new drawings and has put forth the effort to go through and has made progress, that's why each time we've come before Planning Commission, they've made progress since the last request. So that's why we have recommended accepting that.
It says here the vested plans have expired in 2020. Mr. Schreiber, can you address that, please? What's taking so long?
Well, yes, I can. And thanks for hearing this evening. This has been a rough plan to develop, and we've gone through a couple different builders who have shown interest in the subdivision, each one taking it to a different type of design that they wish to see, whether it be townhouses or single-family detached. The original plan was initially submitted for a little over 360 combination of townhouses and single-family detached, and the most recent developer that most recent builder we are working with is looking for more of a plain single-family detached type subdivision. And we are working through a lot of the design issues that come with a larger scale subdivision of this size, and also working with the State Highway Administration for traffic impact, which we are soon to submit that. I'd also like to add, the school impact analysis was actually submitted back with the preliminary plan in October, and after I had seen that it was not showing up or as being submitted, and you were looking for it as a condition of approval, I did resend it as a part of this request in the LLAMA system, as well as the environmental impact checklist was also submitted. Just this past, the environmental impact was just submitted this past Friday.
Are you saying then that the new developer is needing additional time? This is not the same developer that proposed the project from the beginning?
It's the same developer, but a different end user, that being the builder who is interested in taking down the lots and buying the lots.
Whose responsibility is it to submit those impact studies? Is that going to be the builder, or is that going to be the developer?
That's the developer. That's correct.
And Mr. Schreiber had indicated that they sent those through our system Friday, so we should have those.
You don't know if you have them?
I haven't checked, but we can see if we have those in-house in our database.
Do you have anything else to add, Mr. Schreiber?
No, just for clarification that the school impact analysis was actually submitted in October along with the major plan change request. So that should be in their system. And however, the impact analysis was just submitted this past Friday after I had seen that it was a condition. I wanted to make sure that that got in.
And just to add on to that, this is Heather. I already included the totals for Meadows at Riverside in the lot counts that I provided to the Board of Education for their long-term study. So those numbers are already included.
Okay, thank you.
And those numbers didn't change?
If anything, Ed, clarify if I'm wrong, they started out higher and they've come down to the 261? Okay.
Yes, correct. It was originally a little over 360 units with the initial submission back in 07, I think it was, and now we're at 261 single-family detached.
So is this 12-month extension that is for additional time for a major plan change? Is that correct?
Correct. In order to get all the approvals that are necessary, that includes State Highway Administration, and understanding that in submitting something to the DOH, it's a number one pretty complex report that actually goes into it. But then once we submit it, it's kind of out of our hands. We have no control over how quickly it gets reviewed or how slowly it gets reviewed at that point. So that's why we're asking 12 months. Okay. The majority of the other items that have been reviewed as a part of the major plan change have pretty much been addressed, and we've resubmitted plans to that point, to that effect, and addressing the majority of those comments. Again, DOH is definitely one of the outstanding comments or approvals that is necessary, but that's somewhat of a long lead process type approval.
I guess my concern is the vested plans have expired.
Well, that part is why they're coming before the commission tonight.
I think the initial request for the extension was submitted prior to, I believe it was December 8th, possibly 8th or 9th, that it was actually submitted. And again, just because of different planning commission dates and such, that's why it's just now being heard. the plan has come quite a ways over the years, and it's, we're now entering the final design stages of everything. I hate to see us lose everything at this point. And we're doing what we can in order to get it done as quickly as possible.
We're not gonna hear this again in 12 months, are we?
We certainly hope not. That would be our strongest desire, is not to have to bring it in front. Well, maybe as a for approval, the plan approval, yeah.
I move approval of the 12-month extension.
Motion.
Second, Derek Smith.
Motion by Ms. Norton, second by Mr. Smith to grant 12-month extension, to accept the staff recommendation. All those in favor?
Aye.
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 All those opposed? Motion passed.
Thank you very much.
Staff, council, discussion, action. Is there anything from legal counsel or, no? Okay.
If not, I move to adjourn.
Motion by Mr. Goff to adjourn,
Second?
second by Mr. Deal.
Yep.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Morning meeting is adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye, bye.